All right, y'all. So again, it's the real DJ Red. Now, this video here is a request. One of my followers was asking about the ZLX and the features on it. I'm gonna give you a run through on the ZLX, the basics of it. Basically, the ZLX, the ELX, most of the EV line is the same way. The ZLX is the bottom of the line as far as powered speakers with the Electro Voice speakers. The one I'm going to show you is the zlx12p. It's a 12-inch woofer, 1-inch driver, and without no delay, let me run through it real quick and show you everything on it. So what you're looking at here is the back of the zlx12p. Again, it's a 12-inch woofer, 1-inch driver, and basically I'm gonna give you a run through. Let me see if I can get this focus here. A run through of what is on the menu for the DSP. As you can see, so let's try this again. Let's see. There we go. All right. So what you have here, let me adjust this. Go back up to the main part. All right. So you have your level in for channels 1 and 2. Once you hit the menu knob, then you have the mode. Most of the time I leave it on music. Unless I'm doing a live band and I'm using these for monitors, then I'll switch it to live. You turn it again to the right, then it goes to speech. Now the good thing about speech is, you know, when someone is speaking and they say like a P word or a B, stuff like that, you get that low end punchy sound through the system. This will cut off the low end on there. And also you have the club setting. The club setting will give you a little bit more bass on it. I very rarely use it, only because I like a good clean sound on there. I'm not knocking it, but it's a lot of bass that comes through on that. So I'm gonna go back and, well, actually I'm gonna leave it on club, and then I'm gonna show you guys something at the end. Location. If you're doing pole mounts on the speaker stands, pole mounts, and if you got the poles mounted into the sub, you can leave it on pole mount. Again, once you switch the location to monitor, it adjusts the EQ and takes out some of the low end, so that way you're not having a rumble on your stage or wherever you have the monitor set at. Bracket. Now bracket, they do sell brackets for these separately, and they can be mounted on walls or hung from the ceiling and stuff like that inside of a club. I'm gonna leave it on bracket, and I'm gonna come back to it as well. Next, you have the treble. You can go +10 or -10 on the treble. Next, you have the bass. Same thing again. You can go +10 on the bass. Subwoofer. This is probably the main part that I usually mess with on here. You can have the frequency cut off at 80 hertz, 100 hertz, 120, or you can have the ELX118p setup, which is another EV sub. I did used to own a couple of those. I moved on up to the ETX. Now this LED, which is off right now, is for the LED light that's on the front of the speaker by the EV emblem. You can have that on and it'll stay on constantly, or you can have it to limit. So that way if you're in front of the speaker and someone, and let's say if you start to drive the speaker too much, that limit light will come on in the front. Okay. The LCD dim, which is off right now, I'm gonna turn it on. What this does is once there's no activity going on here for a couple of seconds, this screen will dim. Okay. The contrast, which you just seen a little while ago, you can darken it out. I usually leave it at 0. And then you have reset. Now everything that I have in here, club, bracket, -10, +10, ELX, limit. You can go to reset, which I use very often. and you can reset all of your settings, and bam, it'll go back to zlx12p. Now, if I go through the menu again, everything is set back at default. Music, pole, 0, 0, subwoofer off, LED on, LCD on, and that's it. So that is the screen right there. Now, as far as how I usually play it, if I'm playing these ZLX12s by themselves, my usual setup would be exactly how it is right now. Treble on 0, bass on 0, sub off. Now, if I'm playing it with the subs, with the ETX subs, I might go 100 hertz, or I might just go all the way up to the ELX118p. And what that does is cut off all the punchy bass, all the low frequency bass, anything, let's say, from 80 hertz and below, from coming to this particular speaker. You can set all of them differently. You don't have to set one way and one another way. Depends on what are you using it for. And that's pretty much it from right there. Okay, so that's pretty much it on that ZLX. On the EV Live X, which we do have that one as well, the menu still runs about the same way. We noticed that I got these when they first came out. We noticed that EV started putting a mid frequency on there as well, so you can turn the mids up, high and low, stuff like that. On the ELX, it has a little bit more features on there. I believe it's still a wood box. Yeah, it's still wood. Still a 1,000-watt speaker. Still using a woofer and a tweeter. We have the ZLX12 also, which is 12-inch woofer with a 1-inch driver. The new ones do have the DSP on there. Also, they can be controlled by Bluetooth on the ELX. The ZLX, again, they're lower line, they're the bottom line EVs. I still love them. I've had mine since 2013. Haven't blown not one tweeter or driver. Have not blown not one woofer. The only thing that I've had issues with it, and it's not a big issue to me, is the LED light on the front. Let me show you the front real quick. And that is the front right there with the LED light on the front. Now, I probably have maybe 2 of them that the LED light stopped working, but everything from the woofer and the horn driver, which you can't see it behind the screen that's on there in the grill, everything else works. The light is the least of my worry. So again, that is the ZLX12p with the DSP screen on the back, LCD screen, and it's basic, simple, but it's a good speaker, clean sound. I've used it, again, I've had them since 2013. I've used them for live bands. I've used them for myself every weekend. They get the most use out of everything in here besides my DDJ SX2 controller. They get used just about every weekend. Even if I'm bringing out the big system, I might grab another one with me to do, use it as a monitor. Again, I've used them for bands. I've used them at schools. I've used them for proms, weddings, and practically haven't had any issues with them. Like I said, just a little LED light. If I wanted to fix them, I can fix them. To me, that was something minor. My whole thing was the quality of the speaker, the sound of the speaker, and the durability. I've played them to the extreme before. I've put them under pressure, outdoors and indoors. I, again, knock on wood, haven't blown any drivers or woofers. These things here are built to last. I'm not knocking any other brand. One of the reasons why I picked them, as far as Electro Voice, the price was very reasonable, number one. Number two, the durability of it. And number three, EV has been in business for years and years, and they're a reputable company. I'm not getting paid for it. I'm just giving my opinion on it. They work for me very well. They work for me very well. I've never had one to let me down. Again, I run the ZLXs with the ETX subs. The DSP on the subs are slightly different. Maybe one day I'll, once I'm doing a video or something and I have the sub out, I'll do a video on that. There's a little bit more features on that sub than on the ZLX. So, there you go from there. If you guys got any questions, comments, please leave them down below. If you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And also make sure once you subscribe, hit that little bell on the side. That way you can get notifications every time when I put up a video. Again, thank you to each and every one of you, and peace.